Wow, another beautiful morning. Good morning. Man, nice crisp morning. Perfect day. No wind. You can see some of the Hurricane Helene wrath over here. Those are all fresh trees that were just uprooted and pushed down the creek. You can see all these little trees. We're just catching stuff as it was coming through. Creek it has a bend down that away. So I guess everything was just kind of building up, and then as it made its turn, it was just coming through this lower area here. Then it gets to this kind of open straightaway here. And this whole area really got opened up. It was never this wide before down here. But it just cleaned out a lot of stuff down through there. And then there's a wall of trees down at the end. I haven't walked down there, but something stopped all those trees down there past where my bear bag is hanging. It's just a massive wall of trees down there. It probably gets smaller, and you probably have more cliffs like here, and that's probably what stopped it on both sides. This was a good home for 2 nights, I'll tell you. It's really nice. The tent tucked away back over there. First time fire pit right here. There wasn't one there, so it's always fun to build your own fire pit. So, yeah. I'm gonna go get the bear bag, make some coffee, breakfast, and then start packing up to get out of here. We'll check back in later. Well, this tank is almost out. I'm going to go ahead and let it go. It normally takes 1 minute to boil some water, about half full. I guess that's normally about a cup. But once it starts getting low, it just it doesn't boil very hot. Yeah, it's trickling. It's steaming a little bit. We'll see if it can make it. I got another canister, so. The sun, I can't tell if it's still burning. Yep, it's still got a flame. If I have to change it, that means it's going to have to cool off before I can unscrew it. All right. I was able to use it the entire time. Didn't come to a rolling boil, but it had bubbles and it's filtered water anyway. I'll let it get to a rolling boil, then I can't drink it for a while anyway. So used to get to finish the tank out so it doesn't get wasted. It actually still was burning a little bit, so I'll see if I can get a little boil out of it for my oatmeal this morning. So. I wanted to share a few things that make this experience comfortable for me. The first time I came out on one of these trips, it was kind of like, am I going to sleep comfortable? What do I really need to get so that I'm not skimping on the budget and then I'd be so disappointed and so forth. So before I did my first backcountry trip, I did a lot of research, not trying to break the bank, so I did look for quite a while to find some things on sale. Some things you couldn't get on sale, and in the end, you can understand it. It's high quality stuff, and the name speaks for itself. But I'll share a few things, some very simple things to some the bigger things. So I picked these string lights up. I didn't have this on my first trip. I think I bought these about a year ago. But they're LED string lights. You've seen a few pictures and maybe some shots in some of my other videos. But it doesn't hardly consume any power of my battery bank. And it's really light. They just roll up and stick in this little sack. Ridge Light's the brand. They're really great. And it's just nice sometimes if you want a little light while you're sitting out here. Yeah, you light it up, and I've had them running for a couple of hours and really didn't even hardly take a hit on my battery bank. Of course, you got to have a pillow. I've had the same pillow since day one. It holds its air. It's got a valve that keeps the air from coming out when you blow it up, and it's a great little pillow. I don't remember what it cost, but it was very inexpensive. These lights are very inexpensive too. I think both of these were less than $20. Where I didn't skimp and made sure I got something that was high quality is I got a Thermarest mat. Never could find anything like that on sale. It's just a single person Thermarest. It's been with me for the first trip. I even now use it when I'm dispersed camping. I don't bring some heavy duty foam mattress or anything. It is so comfortable. If I'm dispersed camping along a forestry road somewhere, or even if I'm at a campground, my vehicle's there, I can pretty much put whatever I want in it. I still use it. It's rolls up so nice, out of the way. So yeah, highly recommend Thermarest, and the durability is amazing. This AquaQuest tarp, you've seen it in action in a few adventures, and I got a chance to use it with two people. brookie, Smoky Mountain trip from back, actually it was a couple of weeks before Hurricane Helene. My buddy Mike came with me, and we set it up. Generally, if there's always a % chance of rain, I set it up just so it's there. You could put firewood under it and whatnot. So, but luckily we set it up. We were, drinking coffee one morning and just eating breakfast and visiting, getting ready for the trip, and all of a sudden it started raining. And for 30 minutes, it rained pretty good. So we just threw a bunch of stuff under there real quick and sat under there and visited. So that's the first time I've used it for 2 people. We had no issue. We weren't cramped or at anything. So this AquaQuest tarp, it's ultra light. I didn't even set it up for this one, but I brought it anyway in case the forecast changed on a dime. But this is another one, high quality. You're going to pay for it, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. They got all sides. And probably my favorite favorite item that I bring with me that makes it such an enjoyable experience is I love a good fire, and I don't want to have to just keep burning twigs and you go get some logs and you can't break them. Is this Agawa Boreal 15 saw. This is the 15-inch. They make them where they get a lot bigger, but it folds up very nice. Sometimes I always forget how you set it in gear. And then you got this amazing bow saw. So I always can find good high quality wood, and you got to work a little bit to cut it, but you just cut a little bit over time, drag it over here, and but this saw is a beast. It is such a great saw. Highly recommend it. It's got a little bit of a price tag on it, but it's worth it. It's high quality. It's been with me on every single trip. My wife got it, surprised me for Christmas. Actually, she surprised me with this one Christmas. And I'll actually share this Soto saw. It's got its own igniter, never failed, and folds up. Actually, I think I said Soto saw, Soto stove. This thing is great, and it folds up, really tight. It's 2 pieces. It's perfect. So, and let's see what else. Oh, and one other thing. I bought a really nice flask. Yeah, it's just plastic, of course, but it seals really well. Actually says it's guaranteed, and it's never leaked. I didn't have it on my first couple trips, and what do you know? I had a flask that leaked a little bit, but I always bring some bourbon. You can see it's pretty large, so you can bring a lot, and so it's good, solid, some type of, resin, plastic, but this thing is great. And it's never leaked on me. It's probably been, I don't know, 15, 20 trips, I guess. So, but really good flask. And it always pack in 3 to 4 beers with me. It's a little extra weight coming in, but you throw it in the creek, and then you finish it off so you don't have that weight on the way back in. So those are a couple of some of the items that just make this an enjoyable trip. They don't really add a lot of weight. You need this stuff anyway. So you want to spend a little extra money on some of the things. Some things you can find on sale. So thought I'd share that for anybody that's wanting to do this. If you look around, research a little bit, there's some folks online on YouTube that do a lot of reviews of different things like that. But these are the things that really make it an enjoyable experience for me. And And there is one other thing. Food. You don't have to eat packages of tuna all the time. Peak refuel. I got one meal left. I won't eat it. This was mainly if I decided to fish or stay out here a little bit longer today before I go back. I a lot of times eat one of these meals before I hike out. But I'm going to pack up here soon and get out of here. But yeah, peak refuel. It says each package is a serving of 2, but for I always eat each meal myself. If you split it with someone, especially 2 men, yeah, you would be hungry. So, but for some ladies, they probably, would only eat half of it. So, but anyway, I'm gonna eat some breakfast here and start packing up. So, anyway, we'll check back in later. All right, so I'm determined to use that entire container. I haven't used these canisters. I picked them up at Walmart one day, but it's still got quite a bit of propane in it. And I don't know why, but I mean, it's almost empty, but it's got a reasonable amount. So I'm boiling my water for my oatmeal and another cup of coffee. So I'm determined to use it all. It's just got a little flame, but it's still going and it's starting to bubble a little bit. So anyway, I got some time. But what I thought I would do is actually would share, this weekend's the first time I've used this pair of Corker boots. And so amazing customer service. So I had a pair of Corkers that, had a few days. I guess it probably maybe 6 to 8 trips, and that's kind of pushing. It was kind of hard to remember, but this model of Corkers had these kind of straps that like lock the heel in. I'm not going to say the model because I'm not really quite sure. They actually don't make it anymore. But I reached out to them because, I mean, after only a couple of trips, that strap tore. In North Carolina, we do a ton of rock hopping and so forth. And it's just catching on the rocks and so forth. But, they tore, and I was like, I guess it's just part of it. Well, then shortly after that, the other boot started tearing. And as I progressed, you couldn't lace it up real tight. And then you had to, wrap it around and so forth. And yeah, it worked, but it certainly didn't provide the support that was really needed, just the way that strap was, supposed to really lock it in. So I decided to just send him an email one day and send him pictures. And what do you know? They said, hey, we're gonna give you a credit for X amount of dollars, $180. They said, we don't make that boot anymore, but we'll give you a pair of boots just like it, or you can upgrade. Here's a $180 credit. So I was like, wow. I mean, that was amazing. It had definitely been about 2 years since I had purchased them. But like I said, only about, maybe 8 trips. I think it was probably on down on the 6 trips. I wasn't going to the mountains as much as I have over the last 2 years. So anyway, I decided to upgrade. So this is one below their top of the line. I've never had any golf shoes, any other type of boots with this boa design. So I thought I would try them. I've had them for almost a year because I have some Orvis ultralight wading boots, and I'm going to wet wade as much as possible because I have the backcountry skin. So when it's a little bit colder and I'm doing some of the places, I don't really need to get deep into the water. But so this was the maiden voyage of these, and so far really great. Since it was the first time, I while I was out on the water, I'd have to tighten up the laces a little bit more. But I actually hiked in with my neoprene gaiters, and until I got to the creek, then put them on with the waders. So they fit great both ways. So so far so good. But wow, what customer service! I never would have imagined. All I was asking for was to send it to them, repair the strap, and then send it back. That's what I asked in my email. And when they said they were going to give me the value of another pair of boots, or just send the other pair of boots that were comparable to those, but they didn't have that strap design that locked the heel in, that was just amazing. So anyway, they have another customer, and I'll continue to buy Corkers. I'd always heard good things about them. That's why I bought that other pair. And then, but anyway, check out Corkers, their customer service. Be curious to know if anybody else has had that kind of experience with them to where they've replaced something like that. But anyway, good customer service from Corkers. So I thought I'd share one item that made this trip particularly enjoyable. So I mentioned it, I think earlier in this adventure, that I brought some down long johns. As you can see, this is a lot of material and would take up a lot of space. It doesn't weigh much. I don't even know if it weighs a pound. But anyway, it was in the 20s the first night, and I don't know if it got below freezing last night because I left my water bottle out here full of water just to see if it would freeze or anything, but it didn't. But the first night, it was definitely, cold. So I've got these down long johns. Well, this is how I got them in. I got one of these stuff sacks, actually a wet bag. So I use this wet bag and just stuffed and stuffed and stuffed. And it's going to get smaller than this. So that's still pretty good size. So just keep shoving it down. I'm going to roll. A little bit of a challenge. Of course, at home you could use your vacuum cleaner and really suck it down to small. I didn't do that. I got it down to a point to where, because if I roll it all the way up, it's a wet bag. The air won't come out. So there we go. It's perfect. So I didn't get cold at all. I had these on each night. Of course, with I had my skull cap on. I do sleep with some fleece gloves, and I'm completely comfortable out here. So also have a 20-degree comfort level down sleeping bag, and so all that combined, and again, I don't think this is even a pound, but it certainly made this one enjoyable. That was a good test. I was a little concerned on how I would fare with the temperature, but this was an afterthought. I thought about this about 3 or 4 days before the trip. So, yep, got another luxury item to take when it's needed. So, all right, I'm all packed up. Another trip in the bag. What a great campsite. I mean, I really try to always find this is the best creekside campsite, but this one was amazing. I mean, just one more little glimpse of what I had here. Creekside, built my own fire pit here. There wasn't one here, so built it from scratch. Surrounded by post-Helene damage. Tent was tucked back over here, and I had this cool rock to lay out all my gear when I unpacked it, and of course when I packed it. So that was really cool. So anyway, I got 2+ miles back to the Jeep, and flat going, and then all uphill once I get to the trailhead. So we'll check back in later. If you're just checking in on my channel, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and many more adventures in the future. Take care. We'll check in 1 or 2 other times as I make it up to the Jeep. What a view that is. Beautiful view. You can see the ridge line up there. Oh, that's probably another at least 3,000 feet, and a view down to the creek. I'm about halfway back to the Jeep. Still another mile to go. And let the climb begin. I love hiking on the trails where few have gone. So few take this trail, sometimes you can't even tell where it is. Whether you need to go left or right. I love it. I think I'm through all the deadfall. I still just have uphill climb left. It just never ends. But I think all the deadfall, if I remember right, I've gotten past it. Yeah, it's been all the way up. All right, this trip is done. I made it back to the Jeep, got all the gear off my back and waders. I hiked back in my waders because I didn't want to change again. So walked about 50 yards away from the Jeep to just drink a beer and enjoy this beautiful view behind me. So thanks for coming along with this trip. It's been an awesome trip. It's great to get back out. Not being out in the woods in October was just dying to get out. So mission accomplished. I did everything that I wanted to do out here. It was just beautiful. So if you're just checking in for the first time, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and more adventures coming in the future. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.